Hey, I wanted to share something that unexpectedly happened to me last week, and that is my well went dry. And it's not something exactly that I would have forecasted, but with as much investment as there has been here locally in big corporate farms, a new well was drilled, for instance, about a mile from here, feeds a lot of the acreage behind me in the distance. There's probably a good 1,000 acres there that new well is feeding. That hasn't been watered for years. So they're pulling a lot of water up there, and we have the canals that were recently lined. So the corporate farmers didn't want to have water losses into the ground, so they lined the canals. Combination of those two things resulted in the water table going down out here, which is really kind of sad. Bought this place in 2021, been monitoring the water depth, and it's been pretty steady until now. So luckily I had a 220 volt 1.5 horsepower pump that I pulled out. I put in a DC pump because I wanted to be just totally off grid. So these solar panels over behind me, the white faced on the back side ones, those are the ones that run the solar panel or the DC water pump. And I put in a cistern over here a few months ago now, a couple months ago. And honestly, it proved to be a godsend. And had I not done that, I'd be in a little bit of trouble because my son, daughter-in-law, and their child live here, and I can deliver water, put it into the cistern while I'm waiting for the well driller. But regardless, I'm out of water, so it's kind of buggered up. And I just wanted to point out something that's really interesting. So the big corporate farmers that have bought up the valley used to just be a whole bunch of little farms, like 180 acres, a couple hundred acres here and there, all these family farms, but they've all kind of merged together. They've been bought up. As a family, as parents have died, kids have gone on their separate ways, they've sold these little family farms to these big corporate farm entities. Most of them are located out of state, to be honest. And what these big corporate farmers do after they've conglomerated all these farms is then they hire the people to come and be their peasants and live into these old houses. And a lot of people, not a lot of people from Mexico, but definitely some of the old timers are hired by these guys, which is really sad. But then they suck all the water up, and who pays for that? I mean, it's you and me. It's the folks that don't have a lot of cash. We're the ones that are having to drill our wells deeper. And the estimate that I have on my well to get it replaced, $118 a foot. And I got to wait a couple months. And I'm 230 feet right now. So, man, to drill a well, it's be out, 30 grand plus. It's not a good proposition. Can I add something else to this? It's kind of nuts. So I'm a quarter mile away from the river behind me. The river was diverted. It was diverted a few decades ago, but it was diverted in all these canals. And I was going to go get some rocks out of the river here on the private property. And the Idaho Department of Water Resources says you can't do it because it's an active fishery. Okay? Okay. So it's an active fishery. I'm sure there's some paper you could fill out or something because the rich lawyers can do it for these corporate farmers. But so I can't go pull a landscape rock out of the river on private property because it's an active fishery. But it's not a problem to divert the water to actually. I don't think you grasp something. The river's dry. There's no water there, and it's still labeled as an active fishery. So the corporate farms with deep pockets and the fancy pants lawyers, they can go ahead and actually destroy a whole ecosystem. Yet you and me, we can't build within 30 feet of the riverbed, and we can't pull a rock out of it because it's an active fishery. And up the valley where my greenhouses are, I got 32 acres up there, and there's a stream that runs through there. Used to. They diverted it. Corporate farms diverted it. And they filled in to the north and to the south. This creek, Spring Creek is what it's called. So the farm to the north of me actually filled in the stream bed so they can plow. The farm to the south of me filled in the stream bed so they can plow. They put pivots on these pieces of property. But my property, never got filled in. The Farm Service Agency says it's actually a waterway, even though it's bone dry. and that, you know, I can't build within 30 feet of it, and I can't put a culvert across it, stuff like that, even though water can't go there. So once again, let's think about this. Big pockets, fancy lawyers, literally take a stream and divert it, shut it down. Yeah, you and me, brothers and sisters, you know, we're the ones that are penalized. And it's flipping messed the heck up. It really is. Anyway, I thought I'd just share that with you. I'll get this taken care of one way or another. I think what the solution's going to be, I'm going to go with a 3-inch. The pump I ended up switching out this spring for early summer. I went from a 4-inch diameter pump to a 3-inch diameter pump. So worst comes to worst, I'm just going to have the guy come out, put down 4-inch casing, just, you know, tap in, drill down the existing well, and I'm hoping they can do that. Just go with 4-inch casing, be a lot cheaper. So then I'll just run a 3-inch pump, or, you know, that way I can take advantage of the narrower casing. I'm hoping that's what I can end up doing, but the point is, it seems messed up to me. You know, the whole water well is going dry across the whole West. You know, whether it's Arizona or Utah or wherever, but these rich, lawyer-driven corporate entities can do what the heck ever they want. And you and me, brothers and sisters, it just seems messed up. Anyway, my 2 cents. You have a good one.